Okay, so I just wanted to do a video talking about the amazing interview. And I say amazing because I believe in the show's close to 5 year run. I don't believe I've ever seen an interview specifically for the male cast members of the show. You had Zach, Gary, Tony, and Maurice on Angela Yee's show or podcast. I believe it's radio or podcast. I know she has both things, but regardless, just seeing the male character actors getting their time to shine was great. I believe in the past there may have been a couple of online interviews where like Calvin and a couple other guys would be in an interview on a person's platform, but in terms of like a major a platform with a lot of outreach, I believe this is the first time we've seen the fellas have a chance to talk about their roles on the show. And a lot of people in the comments were saying, man, Preston needs to be here. And I understand it because people miss Preston. But yeah, to have this many of the male characters together at once was great just because we get more insight into their characters. And the interview is about 42 minutes. I'll leave a link in the comment section below if you want to check it out, which I would highly recommend because, again, the fellas, from DeVal to Cheeto to Brian and the character the guy that plays Tony. What is his name? It's on the tip of my tongue. Brandon. Okay. Well, in any case, yeah, just seeing the fellas have just a space to talk about, just their characters in general. And I really feel like we need more of this. Hence why I did that video a few weeks ago about how Tyler Perry should revive the Tyler Perry show, where we have more time than just like a hour long, aka 40-minute, minus commercial break special where you have the ladies of Sistas out there. Then maybe if we're lucky, the men come out for like a 5-minute segment and then they're sent back to the background, or the backstage to wait until the show's over. No, I just love seeing the guys talking about their characters. And the fact that, they gave some insight on how Zach looks at Karen or Gary feels about Andy. It just adds more depth to it because even though the show is called Sisters, the male characters are just as important as the female characters in terms of pushing the story forward. So I truly feel like if we had more interviews like this, and not even just with the guys doing their thing, but just having a joint interview with the males and the females being able to bounce off each other, that would make for some great entertainment, arguably even better than the show, because maybe, oh, you know what? I didn't see things from this perspective, or I get it. Now I know why Zach acted this way or Danny acted this way, because we see things from a different perspective. And then I think one of the best parts is when, the actors talked about how, yeah, we don't know stuff until we get the scripts. And when we're reading the scripts, it's like, wow, because I think it was either DeVal or Brian that said, when you get the scripts, you got to let go of reality in terms of okay, all right, if I'm looking at the script for Maurice, I have to look at things from Maurice's perspective as opposed to how Brian will look at it in order to make the performance more believable. So that explains a lot in terms of how some characters grow, devolve, and, are just stunted in their development, which again adds extra layers to what we're seeing. But it doesn't make it less frustrating when you watch some of these characters act the way they do. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a funny interview. It was insightful. And we definitely need more like this. And to be honest, even though I wasn't the biggest Calvin fan, I wish we had interviews like this back when he and Preston were still on the show to get more insight into their characters. But that's all I have. Like I said, check out the full interview. It will not be a waste of time. Trust me. I feel like a lot of people will enjoy the interview more than episode 12. So with that being said, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next video.